What's going on, guys? Chad here with Greenlight Shooting, and welcome back to another video. So today we've got something a little bit different, man. I do a lot of reviews of products and things like that, and while you can kind of say this is a review, really this came about from a real thought I had. So when I was coming home from California last March, right when COVID hit, you know, everyone's panicking, everyone's hitting the grocery stores, all this stuff's going down, and then you end up having looting going on, and Utah actually got hit with earthquakes right at the same time. So people were really panicking, man. The grocery stores were totally cleaned out. People are buying up water, propane, whatever. And it got me thinking, you know, like if this kind of came to some sort of a post-apocalyptic world, what gun do I want to have by my side? At least what handgun would I choose? You had to leave everything else behind, or you know, you're in a different situation, you only have one gun. What gun is that going to be for you? So I'll tell you my answer here in just a second. Before I do, I just want to give a big thank you and shout out to our sponsors today. That is coming from Magnatech. So Magnatech is a line of magnetic mounts and flashlights that can hook up to things like firearms or helmets or even a longboard. So as you can see, there are different adapters that you can throw on different things. For a firearm, you've got an M-lock adapter. For helmets, you've got like a sticky adhesive adapter. Think something like a GoPro. Then, on this flashlight on the bottom side are strong magnets, and those things just clip onto your firearm. And as you can imagine, you're using this thing, you're clearing a room or whatever, you decide that room is clear, you can just pop this off, and now you have a handheld flashlight. That magnet is extremely strong. If you want to throw this, say you're outside in the outdoors or whatever, you're looking around here, you need to hop back on your dirt bike. These magnets are strong enough that they'll just actually guide itself in. And then this thing's rock solid. So you're driving around on the dirt bike, you're hitting bumps, you're going off things, you're crashing. That thing's staying solid with you. Same thing obviously for like a hard hat, if you're an electrician or something like that, you're working in the dark often. So just a really cool, simple setup for attaching accessories, right now lights, to firearms and other things. So as I said, sort of an end of the world, apocalyptic, shit hits the fan kind of scenario. And it's, it's what kind of handgun do you want with you? Obviously, in an ideal world, you've got a primary AR or something like that, and then a sort of a secondary sidearm. But we're just talking handguns today, and I want to walk you through a little bit about my thought process on what went into it. So, up front here, I've got a couple guns laid out that I just grabbed from the safe that kind of went through my head. I'll talk you through my thoughts on why I didn't go with most of these to start out with. So first up is the 1911. This was actually my first gun. I have a deep appreciation and love for the 1911. A lot of good things about it. It's honestly pretty low recoil considering it's 45 ACP. It's a big, heavy gun, 5-inch barrel, so that absorbs a lot of that recoil. It's easy to shoot. The fact that it's 45 ACP means it's a bigger bullet you're using, which is probably a good thing in that post-apocalyptic world. Downside is we're stuck to 7 rounds in this mag. It's single action only, so I'm not a huge fan of that. It's also pretty difficult to field strip. It requires a lot more steps to take down and clean and things like that. It's just a higher maintenance weapon. It also doesn't have an accessory rail here for me, so there's some things going against it. So for me, I'm gonna count the 1911s out. Next up, I was thinking, little micro carries, little things that you can conceal wearing anything going anywhere. First up, the XDS. Honestly, this was my first concealed carry gun, and I really hate this gun. This one's chambered in 45 ACP, which a 45 going through a 3.3-inch barrel, little polymer gun, has no business going together. There's a lot of reasons I dislike this gun. Maybe we can talk about that in another video. But the SIG 365 I still use quite often, especially during the summer months and things like that. You're holding 10 rounds in this mag. It comes with a 12-round extended mag as well. So capacity is not bad. The size is great. It does have a little tiny accessory rail here. But at the end of the day, it's still a really short barrel. It's still a small little grip. It's just one of those things that I wouldn't feel comfortable with at range. Like beyond a really close encounter, I have trouble with this thing, relying on it out to distance. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this off to the side as well. So that carried me to my next thought, which is, the XDM Elite. Now, they sent me this one, and this is like their 3.5-inch barrel, which makes no sense to me, but even considering this was a 5-inch barrel or something like that, the reason that I got drawn to this in my head is I've got 20 rounds in this mag. This one's 19, but I think they have like 22 round mags for this thing. So tons and tons of capacity. 9 mil, at least outside of this current state we're in, is generally easier to find. There's more of it rather than 45. It's cheaper, that kind of thing. So I liked the idea of this high cap gun, but eventually what got me, aside from like this barrel being ridiculous, this small little rail sort of being ridiculous, is the same thing that talked me out of like some of my more pimped out guns. So this is my M&P Performance Center. This is a 5.25-inch barrel. It's all ported, fancy trigger, 22 round 9mm mag, optic, the whole thing. It's got a lot of great things on paper, but the reason I think I'm gonna go against this gun, that gun, even that FN 509 that I carry, is all reliable, man. It's the Glock 19. Now hear me out, hear me out. The ultimate reason I'm going with the Glock 19, aside from the obvious, the durability, the name Glock, how it always goes bang when you pull the trigger, blah, 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 is the fact that Glocks are so popular. They're so readily accessible. Everyone who is a firearm person probably owns or has owned a Glock. And the reason that matters to me is because if I've got this gun, I've got to go traveling, I've got to leave the home base, get somewhere, and I'm forced to scavenge for more supplies, more accessories, more firearms. There's a much higher chance that I'm going to find things that are compatible with the Glock system. You know, if I find a Glock 17 mag, it's still gonna fit this gun. Aside from that, it's a Glock, right? And if you're unfamiliar with what the Glock platform is, essentially it's known for being an extremely durable, extremely reliable, simple firearm. You can see there's no bells and whistles. You can certainly pimp these out as much as you want, but at the end of the day, the guts of this thing is what makes it go bang every time. It's very low maintenance, very easy to field strip and clean and take care of and all of that. So it's an all-around really highly respected platform. Additionally, as I mentioned, there are a lot of different accessories. This one is the Surefire X300 Ultra Light. It's just the light that I've been running for a while. And of course, I'm running with a Crossbreed Reckoning holster that is made for this exact setup. I like the Crossbreed Reckoning holster for a lot of reasons. We've talked about this before, but one of the nice things is that it comes with interchangeable clips, so I can rock this outside the waist, inside the waist. Even in that post-apocalyptic world, whatever, I do think that the element of surprise is always something you want on your side. If you're open carrying, yeah, people might be scared of you, whatever, they know you got a weapon, but it's also like they know you've got a weapon. So if they're going on the offense, you may be a first target. So for me, whenever possible, I really still like the idea of concealing, of keeping, you know, my cards in close to me. Is that the phrase? Keep your cards close? Have you heard that before? You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, I don't know. That's just sort of the things that went through my head. That's obviously, it's not an objective statement. I thought it was a cool train of thought process to get to where I ended up right here. There's a lot of people getting into firearms right now, all the craziness in the world, and if you can only buy one firearm, which one would it be? I think Glock 19 is a fantastic option. Let me know what you guys think, man. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe if you were down for the ride. I'll catch you next time on Greenlight Shooting. Thanks for watching. Peace out.